Threat quit as Glazers break takeover promise. Another day of the summer transfer window has passed, and there has still been no clarity over the future of Manchester United. The Glazers are yet to announce their preferred bidder for a takeover, but there continues to be plenty of noise and speculation keeping supporters and other outsiders occupied. Man United Hub provides the latest from Old Trafford surrounding the United takeover. Sheikh Jassim's quit threat. Sheikh Jassim bin Hamad Al Thani may be the frontrunner to complete a takeover, and his actions this month seem to have pushed him into that place. Sir Jim Ratcliffe was considered the frontrunner due to his majority stake bid allowing the Glazers to retain a role at Old Trafford. However, Sheikh Jassim's improved fifth bid gave the American family something to ponder, and according to the Financial Times, along with his take it or leave it stance, he threatened to walk away from the process if he didn't gain clarity over the situation. His strategy in the closing stages has seemingly put him in the driver's seat, with reports claiming he is negotiating exclusivity, and his confidence in the Sheikh Jassim camp grows. Pessimism elsewhere does the same. According to CBS Sports journalist Ben Jacobs, minority investors in the running are no longer confident the Glazers will opt to take that road. He told Football Fancast, "My understanding is that the minority investors are largely just waiting at this point. They now have lower confidence that option will be one that the Glazers take. It looks like the focus is now on the two main groups, Ineos and the 9-2 Foundation. Of course, no sale can ever be ruled out, but I wouldn't want to go in and paint to Manchester United fans that is a likely scenario." Erik ten Hag impacted. Erik ten Hag will have likely hoped for a bumper transfer kitty to mark the start of a new era at Old Trafford this summer. However, with the Glazers reportedly expected to remain in control going into next season, his budget remains thin due to financial fair play limitations. According to The Athletic, United are working on transfers, but under the Glazer budget, despite the likelihood of an upcoming takeover. It has left ten Hag having to balance his funds as he searches for a goalkeeper, midfielder, and striker at the very least. Player sales will prove crucial in the coming months. Manchester United owners aren't doing what they promised in takeover talks. Joel and Avram Glazer did promise a thorough evaluation of strategic alternatives when they announced Manchester United were essentially up for sale. But did anybody really expect this? Next week will mark 7 months since that bombshell statement put potential buyers and investors on alert, but United is still owned and controlled by the Glazer family, and nobody really knows what comes next. It's been another silly week in the soap opera of this sale. The graph showing the share price on the New York Stock Exchange looks like one of those maps detailing the Tour de France's most mountainous stages. It peaks every time there is a suggestion a takeover is close, only to dip again when it turns out to be business as usual. There was social media excitement on Thursday when Companies House published documents showing Sheikh Jassim had set up a company called 9-2 Holdings, only for this to be swiftly downplayed by those involved with the process. That came at around the same time as an agency report saying that the Qatari bid had been granted exclusivity over further negotiations with the Glazers. Again, those close to the process played down the suggestion. So on we go. The prospect of a quick resolution also seems distant. Even if Sheikh Jassim was granted exclusivity, the process could extend for another month or two at least. It's not inconceivable that next season starts with no change in the ownership situation at the club. There's also no guarantee that the Glazers will go down the route of selling up entirely, of which the QATAR offer is the only one on the table. Momentum has coalesced around, so uncertain is the process that even those offering minority investment and funding aren't said to see themselves as out of the running. It's taken 7 months to still not really know what the Glazers want to do. It's worth revisiting the statement from Joel and Avram Glazer on the night of November 22nd now, the day when it seemed like they had granted the supporters their wish and decided to sell up. "We will evaluate all options to ensure that we best serve our fans and that Manchester United maximizes the significant growth opportunities available to the club today and in the future," they said. "Throughout this process, we will remain fully focused on serving the best interests of our fans, shareholders, and various stakeholders." Have they remained fully focused? It's hard to tell really, given how little visible involvement they've had in recent years. Avram has been to Wembley 3 times for cup finals involving the men's and women's teams. Joel is set to be still very hands-on on a day-to-day basis. But in what is an absolutely vital summer for Erik ten Hag, who wants to continue reshaping his squad and build on last season's efforts, the uncertainty is hovering like a cloud above Old Trafford. A takeover might not have wildly altered the transfer budget, but it would probably have given ten Hag and John Murdoch a little more freedom in which to operate. Ten Hag wants a goalkeeper, midfielder and striker, but it won't be easily achieved. It's worth reflecting on the Dutchman's comments on the final day of the season. United had just finished third, but Ten Hag wasn't resting on his laurels and fired a pretty clear warning to the board. United's January transfer window only stretched to loan deals for Jack Butland, Marcel Sabitzer and Wout Weghorst. It gave Ten Hag very little to work with. That has to change ahead of next season, but with the takeover continuing to hang over this window, it's not going to be easy. 7 months on Ten Hag deserved clarity over the ownership situation, but it's typical of the Glazers that he doesn't have it. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to smash the like button and make sure to subscribe to Man United Hub to get all the latest updates.